The fog had grown so thick it felt solid, curling through the crooked streets like a living thing. Every step I took pressed against it, slow, heavy, suffocating. Streets that had seemed familiar yesterday now bent impossibly. Doors appeared where walls had been, and shadows lingered just beyond vision, stretching impossibly long. The fountain stood still, but the water shimmered oddly. I leaned closer. My reflection wavered, but behind it, movement. The pale woman appeared for a split second. Her shadow twisted along the stone, curling in impossible ways. In her hands, she clutched something I couldn't identify, and then she vanished. Pinned to a wall nearby was a note, Rule 3, never touch what you find abandoned. I swallowed. My eyes drifted to the toy lying on the cobblestones, the same worn, faded object from yesterday. Its shadow stretched long and jagged, flickering like it had its own mind. Faint footprints trailed behind it, leading into an alley that hadn't existed before. I tried to ignore it, tried to walk past. But something tugged at me, subtle, irresistible. Curiosity. My hand twitched, almost involuntarily, toward the toy. And then I felt it, the village noticing. The streets shivered. Shadows stretched, curling along walls and rooftops. Windows rattled as if the buildings themselves exhaled. Shapes flickered at the edges of my vision, too precise to be tricks of the light. I stopped, heart hammering. I knelt, just a little closer. The toy didn't move on its own this time, but everything else did. Shadows leapt higher, curling, twisting, crawling across the walls. Fog pressed harder against my chest. I heard whispers, my name, the faint echo of laughter, soft piano notes echoing through twisting streets. Each sound seemed to come from every direction at once, impossible, disorienting. The alley bent unpredictably. The woman appeared again at the far end, still pale, still clutching something. Her eyes met mine, sharp, aware, knowing. The shadow behind her stretched impossibly, reaching toward the toy, toward me. I realized then, breaking a rule didn't just affect the one who broke it. It rippled, touching everything, the streets, the objects, the village itself. I tried to step back. The fountain's water shifted, reflecting not me, but a web of shadows crawling across the streets, across alleys, across rooftops, connecting figures, objects, and streets into a single, impossible pattern. Threads forming quietly, invisibly, inexorably. I felt something behind me, a movement in the fog. My stomach sank. Shapes pressed closer, twisting in impossible ways. The toy rolled slightly as if nudged. Footsteps echoed, though the streets were empty. Every sound, every flicker, every shadow screamed that I had become part of the village's design. A window rattled violently. A door creaked open somewhere I hadn't noticed. The fog swirled tighter, curling around my legs. Whispers wrapped around me. My name, faint laughter, the piano note, overlapping, repeating, bending the air. I wanted to run, but the village was patient. It let me walk. It let me feel the first real threads of consequence. I had touched the abandoned object. The rule was broken. And the village was alive, waiting, responding, connecting. The woman's shadow flickered again, this time stretching impossibly long, intertwining with the toy, the fountain, even the edges of the streets. I felt a pull, a thread connecting me to everything around me. The village, the shadows, the objects, even the fog, all aware, all observing, all reacting. And then I heard her voice. Clear, soft, deliberate. You shouldn't have touched it. I didn't look back, not yet. The fog thickened, swallowing the streets behind me. Shapes twisted closer. Shadows bent unnaturally. The threads tightened. I realized that nothing would ever be the same in this village again. I walked on, deeper, cautiously, knowing that the first real consequences had begun. And I would not understand them yet, not until later. But the warning was clear. Break a rule, and the village notices. Break another, and it responds. Subscribe for episode 4.